Hi everybody. I just decided to go live randomly again because I feel like I should and I'm going to. So I hope that everybody's doing well. I was just talking and thinking a lot about a theme that has been kind of like going through my mind a lot today and just my life today, I guess, in general. And it was about taking ownership of your life. And in group today, one of the things we were really talking about was mindfulness, and we were talking about making changes to our life and making changes to the world. And one of the things we kind of talked about was how a lot of times we feel like we're just waiting for something to happen, something to change. Like if we kind of sit around long enough, then what we want will come to us. And as much as surrendering can be good in certain subjects and letting go can be good in certain subjects, one of the things that we talked about, which I think is worth a daily reminder for even myself, is that nobody is coming to save us. A lot of times whenever we've been through like a whole bunch of stuff, we have this mentality kind of that we can't take control of our lives. We can't make things different. This is just like the what was given to us, I guess, so to speak. And a lot of people have been through some really terrible things, so it's not saying that that's not valid and that's not something that prevents people from doing well. But as much as your trauma might not be your fault, healing is your responsibility. And nobody else is going to come along and save you and do that for you. Nobody else is able to come and do the work that it takes to be able to just really get to the life that you want. And as depressing as it sounds whenever you say it, nobody's coming to save you. At the same time, it's kind of a beautiful thing at the end of the day, because nobody can take away the work that we do on ourselves. Nobody can take away the happiness that we build when we do it ourselves, and we stop running from the things that are keeping us down, when we actually face the things that are making us unhappy. So I was just thinking about that today. It's just kind of like a daily reminder. It's something I have to remind myself of too. Like, where in my life can I take more ownership? Where can I create the happiness that I've been looking for within myself? Not to say that other people can't love and support you. Not to say that there isn't help out there. Like, I'm always telling guys go to therapy. Everyone should be in therapy. But as a therapist, I can tell you that I don't save anyone either. I basically repeat back what people already know to them and help them kind of get clarity on it. And that's really what therapists do. And that's kind of what healers do too. Healers kind of show you a vibration and allow you to kind of follow it. It's really what we do at the end of the day. So, I just wanted to say that because I felt like I should. And as much as it might seem like a depressing message sometimes, it's also kind of cool at the end of the day, because we can really take ownership of our lives, and we can make things different, and we can make changes whenever we want to make changes. One of the things that really happens with traumatized people, I think, is just that getting beaten down over and over again makes us forget that we do have the power to make things better. There's this thing called learned helplessness, and I know I've talked about this before, and I know the story is kind of depressing, but it's kind of important. There's this guy named Martin Seligman, who's the head of the APA for a while, and he did some research on like depression and stuff like that, because one of the things that they found was people who've been depressed for a really long time, and this is really common with people who've been through like complex trauma or trauma in general, is they feel like they are helpless in their lives, like nothing will ever get better. And you see that sometimes people have been beaten down a lot of times. You kind of make decisions that don't lead to their highest good. I've done it many times, because you feel like I've been disappointed over and over again. Why would this time be different? Why should I try any differently? Even though sometimes the actions that we're taking because of our traumatization or because we're scared of something, often is kind of like, it feels rational to us in the moment because of our experiences, and it protected us for a long time, but then those behaviors keep going and they no longer serve us. So learned helplessness, like they did this experiment with dogs, and these dogs were like jumping over this thing, it's a technical term, and then they kept like zapping the dogs, which is so sad. I don't want to think about it, but it's what happened. And they zapped the dogs, and like after a while, like in the beginning, the dogs would get out from the zap though, whatever they were zapping. So they would jump away in the beginning. Like the first 10 times or whatever, they would jump out of where they were being zapped, so they didn't have to experience the pain. Then after a while, those dogs had already been zapped so many times, they just sat there and took it, which is like heartbreaking when you think about it. But human beings do this too. Like we get zapped over and over and over again by life, especially when we've had hard backgrounds, when we've had hard histories, when we've had so many bad things happen to us, that we start to feel like we can't take ownership of our life. We can't make things better. And maybe we'll realize that in one area of our life, and we will take ownership of one area of our life, and then the other parts will like leave alone. You know what I mean? Like maybe your career is somewhere that you have really taken ownership of, but your like romantic life or your friendships, you decide that this is just how it is. I can't have friends, I can't have human connection, or whatever it could be. And a lot of times we're taught that kind of by life, and that behavior is reinforced, and then we just kind of start developing the belief that this is just how it is for me. This isn't for me. Happiness isn't for me. But it's not true. And we have to remind ourselves of that constantly, though, because it's not our fault that belief's in our head. It's not our fault that all of these things happen to us. It's not our fault that we're traumatized. It's not our fault that there's a lot of forces in the world working towards us not being our best self. But at the end of the day, nobody else is going to save us, and we are the ones who are creating the world. So if we keep perpetuating these cycles, we'll have the same results in our life. And even on a bigger scale, if we keep repeating these cycles, we're going to have the same world that we've always lived in. So if we want a different world, if we want a different life, if we want a different self, we have to understand what happened for sure. And it doesn't excuse what happened to us. It doesn't excuse the fact that bad things happen to us. And it's certainly not our fault, but it is our responsibility to take our own healing in our own hands. And nobody else can do that for us. Even if they wanted to, they can't. And if you've ever had somebody who's used you to take responsibility for their happiness, it's not a fun place to be either. So just kind of a daily reminder, I think most people know this at their core, but sometimes we have to take some time to examine what in my life am I not happy with, and what am I not taking ownership over, and just remember that we do have the power to change our world. We do have the power to change our personal life. We do have the power to fight for happiness, but it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage because we've been beaten down so much. So just bringing that into your awareness, taking a lot of time to rest and care for yourself, and then when you come back stronger and realize that this isn't the end. It's never the end until we quit trying, and just kind of, go from there, I guess. So I've been thinking about that a lot. So I hope that everybody's having a wonderful day. I hope that you are feeling strong and happy, and you're ready for this new energy. I feel like I'm having a fresh start right now in my life in a lot of ways. It's scary. It's always scary, and it's always fun at the same time. But, it's really important that we just kind of take a moment and we look and we realize that, nobody else is going to save us, and no action is action, and no choice is a choice. And if we don't make the choice to create a better life, then it's not going to happen. It's not just going to float to us. That's just not how it works. Again, the things that we can't control, because sometimes we do just kind of have to let things go if we can't control them. And that's hard too, but that's a different subject. So, all right, that is all that I have to say. I love you all very much. I know who you really are. I know what you really are, and I know how you serve. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.